If you're a professional photographer, a teacher, someone who routinely shows off images in Lightroom, or if you just like that personal touch, you can personalise your Lightroom interface. Now, the Lightroom branding, which appears at the top left corner of the screen, is customisable using the Lightroom identity plate feature. Now, identity plates, once you've made them, they're usable throughout Lightroom to brand your prints, slideshows and probably web galleries as well. Now, as one identity plate may not be appropriate in all the modules, you can create several different ones. If you prefer to use graphics as your design, such as your signature or a graphical design element, you can create a graphical identity plate in another application, such as Photoshop. The file you use should be no more than 60 pixels in height, so it fits in the space available. When creating your identity plate in an application like Photoshop, build it in a layered file and make sure that the bottom layer of the document matches the colour of Lightroom interface, i.e. make it black so it matches. Then turn off the visibility of the black background and save the file as a PNG, not as a JPEG. Okay, well, let's get started. First, we'll go up to the edit menu and we'll choose identity plate setup. And here's the identity plate editor. And here we can see we can use a styled identity plate or we can use a graphical identity plate. But let's start off with a styled one. And you can see the word Lightroom in here is what's being reflected up here. So if we want to change that, so let's change that to, let's say, photography. You can see that that's what comes out on top here. And you can change it a little bit more. Let's say if I wanted to change the colour of one of the words, I could make that, say, blue. You can do things like that, and you can change the fonts. Here we've got Tahoma. You've got a whole list of fonts here that you can select. So we can use text as an identity plate, or if we want to, we can use, as we said earlier, a graphical one. So I'm going to click on use a graphical identity plate, and then I'm going to go to locate file. Now, I know I've got one of these and it's in a folder called identity plate, strangely enough. In true Blue Peter fashion, here's one I made earlier, and I've called it Lightroom ID plate. And if we click to open that, then that now goes in this top area here, this top left. So I've got my own personality now being stamped on Lightroom. So if I click OK, what we can now do is if I go along to one of the modules and say I'm going to make a slideshow and I would like some kind of branding on each of my slides, then what I can do is in my identity plate setup here, I can pick the main identity plate, which is the one I've just made. And if I wanted to make another one for something else, I could go along and we'll do identity plate setup. Let's do a text one, and we'll go back and just do what we did before. There's your photography. And we'll save it out as Ken Text and save. So I've now saved another one. I'll click OK. And now here I've got a choice. I've got Ken Text. So if I wanted to, and you can see it's now appeared up in that top corner, so I could now move that around as a put it at the bottom, put it at the top, whatever I want to do. So you can make as many of these as you like and then customize your slideshows, your prints or your web modules, or in fact you could put it in the book module as well. Well, that's it. That's using identity plates to customize the Lightroom interface. go and have a go and see how artistic you can get. Okay, I'll see you in the next video.